This lesson is comparing and ordering rational numbers. Okay, example, vocabulary 1 is a multiple of a number is the product of that number and any non-zero whole number. So we'll take the multiples of 2. And it'll be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, ... And that would be your multiples of 2, sorry. And the least common multiple is the smallest multiple of 2 or more numbers. So you'll do this kind of stuff even with maybe greatest common factor. Prime factorization, we'll do them both ways. And then 3 would be the least common denominator. That would be, denominator is your denom, and your numerator would be on your fractions. Because when you add and subtract fractions, you need to have a common denominator. So, we're going to find the least common multiple of each pair. So, we're going to do B and D together. So we're going to find the multiples of 6 and the multiples of 5. And the moment you notice a multiple on the biggest number, you are going to stop there and write the multiples of 5 and find out if that is the least common multiple. So I'm going to do 6, 12, 5 won't go into either one of those. 18, no. 24. Nope. And 30. 5 can go into 30, so let's try 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yep, that's your least common multiple. So you're going to put LCM, and you put 30. You need to show your work for that. So, alright, so we're going to do B and D. And I did B already. You take your biggest number, and I always do the biggest number first, and I find the multiples until you think the second number or third number will go into it. So you have 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. And I know 5 can go into 30, so then I check and see if there's anything sooner than that, and nothing helped. So your least common multiple is 30. So I'm going to do that with D. Alright, so I'm going to do 5 first. You always, the best thing to do is pick your biggest number. And I'm going to do 5, 10, 15. I know 3 can go into 15, but 4 can't, so we keep going. 15, 20. 4 can go into 20, but 3 can't. 20, 25, 30. 3 can go into 30, but 4 cannot. 2 and 3, but not 4. 35. And nope, 35, 40. 4 can go into 40, but not 3. 45. 3 can, but not 4. 45, 50. Neither. 55. Nope. 60. 3 can go into 60 20 times, and 4 can go into 60 15 times. So that would be your minimum. And since it's such a long amount, I'm going to you don't have to do the other two, and you could just put 60 down. So your least common multiple. So you don't have to do your multiples of 3 and 4. Your line would be much longer, and you could put just 60 down. All right. So let's try it a different way. We're going to do the least common multiple by prime factorizations. So we're going to find the prime factorization of 12, and we're going to find it for 40. So I have 2 and 6, 3 and 2. So it would be 2 squared times 3. That's the first one. 40 would be 20 times 2. 4 times 5. So it would be 2 times 4 times 5. Okay, it's a little different. Remember with greatest common factor, you found the alike. This has to be alike and smallest. This one is all numbers, least common multiple is all numbers, greatest amount. So, start with my 2's. That would be 2, and my greatest amount of 2's is squared. Then I have a 3, and that my greatest amount is just a 1, 3. And then I have a 4. My greatest amount is 4. It's just 1, 4. And 5. So you have to do all the numbers that are written in your boxes. And then you find out your answer. So 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12 times 4 times 5 is 20. I'm going to do it that way. And that would be 240. Would be your least common multiple. Let's try D. 12. 12 again we already have is 2 squared times 3. Now we'll find 15 and 18. So we have 3 times 5. That's my prime factorization, and this is 6 times 3 and 2 times 3. So that one would be 2 times 3 squared. Okay, again we're picking all the numbers. I have 2, 3, and 5. Okay, so we find the highest amount of 2's, and that would be this 2 squared. Then we find the highest amount of 3's, which would be this 3 squared. And there's only one 5. So it'd be 4 times 9 times 5. So 20 times 9, which is 180. And that would be your greatest least common multiple for 12, 15, and 18. That is the best way to do it if you have lots of big numbers to do. If you have like 6 and 5, that's not as bad as 12, 15, and 180. All right, let's go to the next section. All right, we'll do A. We're starting with the numbers first. Step 1, least common multiple of numbers. So, we have 3 and 2. Find, it's a small, so we can do it this way. So 3, 6, 2 can go into 6. So here's our least common multiple of the number 6. Now we look that we have an X. Let me choose a different color. Maybe that will be easier. We have an X and X squared. So we have an X. So I'll put an X down there, but I have to choose my highest X. Well, X squared is my highest, so there's my answer. $12 and $15, we're going to do the prime factorization first. All right, I did my prime factorization, and it's 60 for both 15 and 12 when I did the multiples. Now I'm going to look at the variables. I have an A and an A. So I'm going to do A. And my highest amount is 1A on both of the numbers. And then I have this B looming. And that's my highest amount of B's, so I'm going to add a B to it. So my answer would be 60 AB. All right. So you could do C and D by yourself. All right. We are graphing, comparing. To graph, you need to have a common denominator. Thank goodness A has a common denominator, so we can just graph. And 4/5 and 2/5 is between 0 and +1. Okay, so to find out how many lines are going to go between the 0 and the 1, or the two whole numbers we're choosing, they would be, you take your denominator and subtract 1. And so on this one, I would have 4 lines in between. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to 4. There we go. So now I'm going to compare them. I'm going to start with a 4/5. So you start with 0 and you go over to the 1 4 dashes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You put your dot at that dash and put 4/5. And then with 2/5, you start at 0 and go over 2, and you put 2/5. And now we're going to compare them. Well, 4/5, because it's on the right-hand side of the number line, is greater than 2/5. We're going to do one negative, so we're going to do B. Together we have to find a least common multiple to find a common denominator with. Alright, I found my common denominator is 40. So I'm going to make a line. And these are negatives, so this time the 0 is on the left-hand side, right-hand side, and the -1 is on the right. And you have to find out the numbers, and that would be 40 minus 1, which is 39. You would count all 39. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, so 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Okay, now you're going to do your dots. So you're going to find 35 on here, going from 0 and going left. And when you've graphed it, you notice this time -32 is bigger than -35. So you go back to its original, so -7/8 is -7/8 is less than this time -4/5. All right. We'll compare that soon. Okay, so when you are checking out, comparing if which one's greater and which one's smaller, you're going to make a common denominator. So I'm going to do 40 and 40. And this would be 35. And this will be 32. And 35 is bigger than 32, and they're both positives, so it's going to be like that. Let's look at C. So we'll have 24 and 24, negative and negative. And this would be 15. And this will be 16. And so this time it's negative, so you're going to have 15 is going to be, -15 is bigger than negative 16. So it's going to look like